All right. Hey, folks. This is another live coding stream. I made this app. Oh, let me start my timer. Little thing, but it helps me stay focused. All right. So, made this app. It's live. Open sourced it. So now we can talk about it and look at the code, and we're gonna do that. And specifically, there's this one error which is really throwing things off, and that is this one. It's hard to replicate, but let me just try to explain it, and then I'll work on documenting a little bit. Since this can be a shorter one, I'm not going to finish it, but you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, hopefully. All right. This is like a test user. They, let's say, have some event, and this would sync with their Google Calendar. Right there. Okay, so that's looking good, but what happens is sometimes if the user will not sign in for a while, or something happens on Google's end, like that connection is lost for some reason, and Google gives a prompt to me, to my app, that we need to refresh things because the data is stale. So I store like the IDs and data for all these events in a client cache called Redux. And let me just show you what that looks like right now. So here are all the events, and one of these is that meeting one we just made. And that's all good. But the problem is when that refresh happens, these IDs are not accurate anymore. And if the IDs aren't right, then nothing works. So when that happens, the back end is like, all right, y'all got to refresh it, but there's no connection between the back end and the front end. It just goes from front end to back end. And that's a problem, because either the user tries to keep working on stale data, which obviously won't work, or I just like don't let them, which is what's going on right now. And let me show you what that looks like. This kind of an error comes up, and can I blow this up? No. Let me zoom in. It's hard to see, but this is the flow of how this kind of works on the back end when this scenario happens. So let me talk you through it. At this point, a user was created and they signed in, and that's all good. And then it looks like they're re-signing in because we got this 401. But the session library I'm using refreshed their session, so now they're good. So these requests here are them getting their events, and then it looks like the user tried to delete one of these. We got another issue, something with the sessions are up, which is separate but related. So that didn't work. Try to delete a different one. Got another 401. Then this one worked, so they created an event. That's what that 200 post is. So they're doing regular stuff with maybe some errors along the way. But then Google is letting us know, like, hey, something's not up. And that's why you see this resyncing Google data for the user, because Compass is like, okay, yeah, this isn't right. Let me fix some things. So we're stopping all the subscribes and the watches, the notifications, and we're recreating it. And that's looking good. And then we are updating with Google. And then this is the bad part. Prompt Redux refresh invalid event ID, most likely. So this is an error I wrote. It has a custom code 601, so I know it's from me. But then at this point, we're at that spot where things are out of sync, and not good. So the user is seeing some kind of alert saying like, hey, something's not right, but there's no option for them to fix it, and I'm not fixing it. So I think this person is probably a dev or at least savvy, because they're trying to go to the sign out route, which doesn't exist, which is why they're getting a 404. So they must be doing this in Postman or just through the URL. They're trying to get around it. So props to them. But it's not working. And at this point they're screwed. And this happens too often with people. It's like a common scenario where the session expires or something weird happens on Google's ends and they want us to refresh things, and I kept putting it off because it's hard to do, and I was like, I don't know if I didn't want to do it, but it's good to do it now, because to pull this off, I would need a connection between the back end and the client. And once I do that, then I can finally do an important feature, which is the live updating of your events. Right now, if I make a change in Google and the sync is still alive, it would transfer over to the database. Let me see if it's over there. There we go. I'd have to check another terminal. So, okay, let's just say it worked and it's in the database, in the cloud, which is separate from the back end and the front end, but it's not here. But if I refresh it from Google, so this morning, let's see if it's there. Might be different in dev mode. Yeah, so I'm not actually syncing the ends, but normally in the production, it would be there. And I can't fix that if I don't have a connection between the back end and the front end either. So what I'm saying is this is kind of a big one, but one, it fixes an important error, and two, it helps me create like a feature that everyone wants. They all want their data accurate at all times. So plan is right now, just like document that. This is going to be more research, and then hopefully I can create like an action plan, which will break it down into small things, which will make it less intimidating. I don't know, man. Like, it's with these big ones, it's hard to motivate myself or get to the point where I'm not intimidated by it, just because I'm working a day job, and I'm trying to balance stuff. So it's like, it just feels like a lot. But maybe if I can break it down into little things and like just chip away at it, maybe get some help, it'll be easier. So this is part of the cleanup project, which is basically like just getting things a little more sound rather than trying to add a bunch of new stuff to it. All right. So I'm just documenting the bug that I talked through. So let me just put some words to this quickly. This is the part where it's tricky because it is hard to reproduce. But let me try. Sign up for Compass. And then I could just throw this will be like, I'll do 2 sections. Method 1, like accurate flow. This is like someone signs in and then don't use Compass for a while, 2 days, and then sign into Compass, because at this point your session will be expired probably. I forget how long the default session is. Let's just go up to 4. And then check network tab. This would come later. See error alert error. It's something like, that didn't work. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's a 601 error. Yeah, refresh needed. So where's this thrown? Oh, here we go. No matching. Oh boy. This is the error, and it happened. Where are we throwing it? When we're trying to get events or update events, yeah. Okay, interesting. So we're only throwing this when someone's trying to update or delete an event. That makes sense because that's where it's going from Compass's database over to Google's, and those for sure need to be in sync at that point. Whereas where you're just reading it, it's not such a big deal because you're just taking what you got and rendering it. So that's good. Re-sign in a Compass. Try or delete or edit an existing event. I'm going to go to, oh boy. Actually, so I don't know if the 40 or 601 even makes it to the network tab. So let me just, I'll say, oh man, like, do you see it in the network tab or just in the backend log? I'll leave it up to them. All right, we're back in. Check logs for 601 error. Okay, this is getting silly now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Jeez. All right, that's the basics of one. Method 2 is like the forced error. So we could just do one to, yeah, sign up, and then update like the edit event service to throw 601 error, which is like no matching event, right? That'd be something like throw error no matching event. All right, so this would just force error upon every edit. That's where I would start, actually, just to make it simpler to debug. Check network tab and backend logs. Okay, I like that. What else can I add real quick? Expected behavior. Upon needing refresh between client and server, both coordinate without needing user input or displaying errors or alerts. Right now there's an alert. Pretty sure there's an alert, and it's very jarring and scares everyone away, understandably. Establish connection between client and server via WebSockets. Which library is TBD, but that's the idea. All right. I'm tackling this one, so I feel like that's good enough at this point. So I could research which WebSocket to get, or I could I think maybe I'll just try to get this going, just to show that it's working in dev, and we can look at some code. That's fun. So let's see where I say event service. Any edit of an event, create, delete, update. I call it update by ID. And do I need to do any of these beforehand? Right. I don't think so. We're just going to do it right away. Throw error. Yeah. What's the parent event error? Okay, let's see if that works. All right, I'm just pulling up my logs on the other screen, but here we're just editing one thing. Okay, well this is right. That's actually what I wanted. Because can I show you this in the? I don't want to show you the whole terminal, but this is, I'm getting the error that I showed you from the logs. It says failed to update event ID invalid most likely, and I'm getting the 601. This is interesting that it's just telling me to log in, which is actually kind of a decent workaround because the user thinks you just got to log in, and then by logging in, it will refresh everything, I think. So let me see how that's even working. Like I must be checking on the client for that status code. I didn't think so. It's just there. Where's the web error handler being done? Let's see. Well, I know the message. Login required. Right? Login required. Okay. We're close. Status equal. Okay, right here. So if we do get that status, so the server is sending it back. Then yeah, we're just signing out. But actually, maybe if I have the error at the client, then I can just display like a loader and force a refresh. Like that's obviously better UX because then you don't have to sign out and sign back in. It's annoying, but it's better. It's an improvement. So now I'm thinking if I could pull that off, I'd rather just get that fix in where I'm just handling it for them as it comes up and not sign them out, and then do the WebSocket stuff still, but not connect those two as much as I thought I had to. So let's see. Let's see if I could do that. So if it's gone, I definitely want to sign them out because that's when Google says like Google's just saying like you got to start over. They'll do that. And there's nothing you can do. But in this case, we could do something. Okay. Real quick, what branch am I on? I'm on main. Oh, I keep doing this. I don't like being on main. Check branch. Fix 601. We'll just do that for now. Get stash pop. All right. We're safe. We're safe. Just reloading wouldn't work, would it? It might, because then, let's see. Because then it's re-requesting everything from the backend, and if the backend is accurate, or if the database is accurate, then it what? I'm not sure. Okay, we'll see. We'll see Copilot. Okay, so this is saying if we ever get an error, and if it's 401, yep. If it's 601, do that. 410, do that. Otherwise, this this happens too, and no one. Man, this is another thing. I need like a better default error handler because that just scares everyone off too. I'm just scaring everyone away, man. Not everyone, but whoever runs into this stuff, they're just like, okay, I'm done. Understandably. So, promise reject. Do I want to reject? Would that just cause another error? I don't know. Let's just see. Let's see what we got. So I don't wanna do that again. Do the flow. So I'm just gonna do it in a new tab. All right. So here's our event that we're gonna edit. So request failed to stash 601. This is just Axios's default message, I think. I don't think I would type it like that. Request failed. I have something similar, but why is that wording getting thrown out? Maybe from here? Does it reload? It does reload. So maybe that just came from the promise reject. Let's see if I get rid of that. All right. Editing, trying, failing. Something's off. Why would it do that now? I see it right there as a status is 601. But it did reload. Oh, I'm not returning, right? Jeez. I think I need to resolve the promise either way. Doing it this way just doesn't feel right. But let's see. At this point, I'm returning after reloading. Okay. I mean, UX-wise, that's a lot better. That's a lot better than displaying an alert that no one can do anything about and that no one understands. So let me see what happens if I go back to this. I think that's where I'm going to get that error. Yeah, I don't like that default error. All right. I could just do promise resolve. What does resolve take? I don't think it needs anything. I'm just trying to keep like a good pattern without breaking things or making it too complicated. Because if I'm returning promises and everything else, like why would I not do it here too? It looks good. No error. All right, we're going with that for now. We'll come back when I do all the tests. Yeah, I'm already loading in that way in a different place, which it's not the best like cross-platform way to handle it, but it's just web right now, so I'm okay using the global window like that. So, man, we got a couple minutes left. I didn't think I'd get this far. This is not bad, because if I could just test this a little more and push it, this is a better scenario than what's going on in production right now, for sure. And I didn't have to do any of the WebSocket stuff. The problem is it's hard to really test that it works using this, because I'm not sure how to force that. Like, let me just make sure it works when nothing bad is happening. Like that, can just edit things normally now without reloading. Waiting for hot reload. Actually, no, I don't think it needs to, because that was a backend change. Okay, it looks like I edited it. Yep, okay. That's looking good. Cool, man. That's a win. That's a big win. Holy smokes. I love when that happens. It's like way easier than I thought to fix this specific thing. I'm still going to need to do WebSockets, but, you know. All right, so let me see. If you like this kind of a thing, YouTube, what is it, Tyler Dane. I have a couple more coming up. One more scheduled right away, but I might do more. So next one is next Tuesday. I'll probably be working on similar stuff. If you want to contribute, go to Compass or docs.compasscalendar.com, and that shows how to get all set up. And then once you got it going locally and you're like, all right, let me help out, read through this. This isn't accurate anymore because I'm working on it, but you can read through that and then find an issue in this cleanup project, because that's what we're focused on right now. So we got this one I'm working on. I got one where this is a good first one. I'll be adding more as I go, but no one has claimed this. What you do is you go through all the setup locally, and you're like, okay, I want to help out, and I get it, what I need to do and how all this works, and then just write in the comment like, hey, I want to work on this. You can ask questions there, and then you can kind of like claim it, just so we're not duplicating work. That's if you want to get involved. If you just want to watch, that's all cool too. I'll see you in the next one once I figure out how to exit this. All right, there it is. Okay, bye.